I'm Peter Lauener, Chief Executive of the Education Funding Agency, which is the government's funding agency for all education and training between the ages of 3 and 19 and up to 25 for high needs students with disabilities and learning difficulties. Perhaps I should say something about the big changes we're making in the funding system at present. There are changes throughout the work that we fund, but the area I'd focus on for today is the 16 to 19 funding. For many years we've operated a national funding formula based on funding qualifications, and there was a report 2 years ago now by someone called Woolf, which recommended that we change the basis of funding 16 to 19 from qualifications to funding students. And that's a change that we're rolling out now. We've issued allocations for the coming academic year 2013-14 to every college and every training provider and to schools, which is based on the new system. So that's a big sea change in the way that we fund education and training. What will it mean? Well, what the old system meant was a lot of data was needed to make it work. There's quite a lot of bureaucracy around it, but arguably it was appropriate at a time when 16 to 19-year-olds participated in lots of different ways. So some might only have done one qualification, others might have done 5 or 6, and you wouldn't want to fund someone at the same level for these different levels of study. Now we're not quite putting everyone on the same level of funding, but we're moving on to the concept of funding the whole students programme, and we're allowing colleges and training providers then to design what the programme should be. So that gives a lot more flexibility. So instead of having to chalk up enough qualifications to justify the funding, once the funding is there, it's up to the college or training provider to say, what's the best programme for this young person? And it might be Maths and English as part of the programme. There might be a main qualification that the young person is following, but there might also be a very significant period of work experience which will help that young person find a track into the next stage of their life, into a job, sometimes onto an apprenticeship. So that's the new concept. It simplifies the funding. It puts the responsibility for programme design, curriculum design, where I think it's best, which is with colleges and training providers, and it should give better progression for young people to what they want, whether that's a job or further educational training.